Today I would like to talk to you about the digital age and its ability to incite positive political change among the young. Technological advancement has provided so many different types of devices that become more portable and more convenient. What this means for the dissemination of news, both from an established news outlet and from a citizen that is now become engaged with the media landscape, is that it's become so much more accessible for anyone to simply distribute news. And for this reason, and for the capacity it has for change due to the massive audience it now retains, we can also incite a positive political change through its usage. Platforms are available to us, such as social media, and when I say social media, I refer to the differing types of technology that all share the common goal of communication and interactivity. Many use Facebook, for example, to just to talk to their friends or probably infringe upon their own privacy, but it has so many more positive attributes that we could use to promote a positive political change. You can connect with people all over the world. You can create pages to causes that you find important, which creates a sort of community for people to share among other like-minded people, and possibly from that promote a sort of activist movement in an area that they all find very important. You can interact, like I said, on the basis of a commonality. You can advertise things via social media to gauge a bigger audience. Take change.org, for example, that uses Facebook alongside its 30 million followers and supporters to create positive political change. The website itself is accessible to everyone. You don't need to pay anything to start a petition, which sort of surpasses the bureaucracy of conventional politics in the way in which you would create change or make any sort of change or communication with the government, which I'm not saying isn't free, but it's much harder than something like change would be. It also, to its supporters, which it clearly has a lot of, sends emails out to them, often tailored to their interests, of the petitions that they are liable to sign, which is another form of interactivity that the internet and technology has provided with. In a digitally dominated society, it is harder for powerful institutions to decide what we know and what we don't know. Things have become much more transparent. People are being held more accountable for things. Mainstream media that is often controlled by corporations is no longer the way in which we find news. We can find news ourselves. There's so many more independent news outlets. There's so many citizen journalists that often has its obvious ethical issues, and whether it's valid or reliable information is not always guaranteed, but it's definitely a new type of news that we can use to draw our own conclusions and make our own opinions about things. Without the technological advancement that we've found today, it's possible that the collective conscience of the public would not even have had the inclination to become citizen journalists, to take news into their own hands, to make their own ideas and share them with other people. Technology has restructured traditional journalism from a top-down structure to one from the bottom up, which means that the public, especially in the consideration of things like citizen journalism and the way in which we now interact with news outlets online and on social media, has made it so that the public are the ones that have more of a say in content. They have the chance to hold journalists accountable for things that they write that are biased, that are poorly researched. They are now creating a journalism which is collective, one which is about community, one which is given the power to the masses as opposed to a powerful few, such as Rupert Murdoch's News Corporation. However, we cannot undermine the ethical dilemmas that arise in such a fast-paced media landscape now. There is no regulation for things that certain people write. There's no true verification of news. I mean, I'm not saying there's no verification or regulation of any news, but much of the things that are on the internet that aren't by a institution which is regulated in some way are in many ways unreliable and lose their validity, and their ethical procedures often aren't taken into consideration. And from this, abuse and extremism has been able to rise. And also, let's not forget that despite there being global participation all across the world, this does not account for everyone. There are a lot of disenfranchised people, a lot of people that can't access the internet, that all suffer daily and have no voice to provide on this platform. And there are a lot of powerful people that can maintain a strong presence online to galvanise support themselves. Taking this into account only emphasises the way in which we need to use this platform ourselves to incite positive political change. It is a very powerful tool and we can all use it.